Hello everybody and welcome back to the Director of Football Challenge with Livorno. Now in today's episode we have the final game of the season and we'll have a little rundown of how the season's gone, what I want for the future, all that jazz, you know the score. But of course we've got some fixtures to review since the last time we met. So you face Juventus at home, you managed to get a 2-2 draw, a great performance from the side. You're looking forward to your next game against Crotone, who are a team below you in the league, which is unusual for you. You go away from home and you get smashed 4-0 after drawing 2-2 and nearly beaten undefeated Juventus. That's just the story of our side. We'll go by 4-0. We then had a home tie against Torino, and it was going to be actually a really good 1-1 draw. You know, Torino are a decent side in this league, finishing the top half consistently. We took the lead through Shea in the 16th minute. Zakaria Bakali got the goal back for them in the 33rd. And in the 95th minute, why the 95th? Felipe Pereira got a goal and gave Torino the victory. And finally, a 2-2 draw at home to Brescia. Brescia are relegated from this league, I do believe. And yeah, we can only just about manage a draw after getting an 82nd penalty, which Marcelo Trotta put in the back of the net to give us the point. If it wasn't for him, we would have got beat. And this is how the league table stands after those games. We sit on 40 points. 9 points clear of Sassuolo in 18th position. Looks like Sassuolo, despite their excellent form going into the second half of the season, they are going to get relegated. That first half of the season form was incredibly poor by them and they're going to pay the price. So we did finish on 42 points last season, I do believe. So, if we just take a look here, it was 42. So if we win today, we better our goal tally from last season. If we don't, this is our worst season in Serie A in 3. And this is going to be the lineup for today's game against Frosinone. We're going to start with Antonio Adan in goal, Belanzioli, Flint, and Salerno and Albertazzi in defence. Agazi, Barberis, Lolo, and Garitano in that diamond, and Shea Bacassa and Marcelo Trotta up top. And we kick off, shooting from right to left in this first half. Frosinone are obviously bottom of the league, I do believe. I think they have finished bottom, so they've got nothing to play for. We've got nothing to play for, really, other than my own pride at actually trying to beat our goal tally from last year as Cataldi takes a free kick. Adam with an absolutely fantastic save. And we managed to keep it at 0-0. Yeah, but nothing on this game for either side. But it is interesting to see how we can perform against the bottom of the table. Now, I do want to change that panel, the double match stat panel, but highlights keep popping up and I don't get that opportunity. Frosinone have worked this well, and Leo is on the edge. He's driving past our right back and he takes a strike on, but that was never threatening our goalkeeper. I don't want to say my formation, I want to say Frosinone's formation. So their two central midfielders are playing very deep, which is natural considering they're playing 4 very attacking players. And I imagine Joel Campbell's just about better than anyone in our squad, as is probably Lapadula, despite him being 32. He would absolutely laugh at our squad. Cataldi with another free kick, goes just wide this time. Every single highlight has been Frosinone's way so far, despite the seeming dominance of the match stats. Albertazzi has picked up a knock, but he's going to have to stay on, I'm afraid. Gasparo is either injured or suspended for today's game, and I'm not sure which. And there it is, half-time. What a rubbish first half. Frosinone did come close through that initial free kick at the first highlight, but they haven't even came close since that, despite a couple more highlights from them. And we've just been non-existent, so let's go attacking. Highlight now, Albertazzi gets brought back down by Tintino, if that's how you say his name, and he has been sent off. Tintino. Dintino. He's been sent off. Highlight now, Garitano with the corner for us. It's cleared. It can't even beat the first man. Lorenzo Lolo takes a strike from the edge. It goes just over. Can we make our one-man advantage count? We haven't actually dropped back at all. It was just their attack midfielder that got sent off, so he is the position that they've sacrificed. Albertazzi is really struggling. I'm going to get Salerno, who cannot play at left back, but I'm going to play him at left back. And we're going to get on Alberto Lisci in his place. We're going to bring on Brian Gallivan as well to play in that central midfield role. It is a central midfield attacking role, so even though he's not entirely comfortable at centre midfield, he should be able to do a job for us there. 5 minutes to go in this match. Come on, boys, just give us one opportunity. Look at this. And none of these have been good opportunities. We'll really struggle to create decent chances against teams who are sitting back. And there it is, full time. What a way to end the season. What a great finish. 0-0 away to the bottom of the league side. But that's how it's happened. So we'll move on. Salerno claims the best defender from the Italian Under-17 award. He definitely deserves it. He's been probably... Actually, not Salerno. I'm thinking of Belangiuoli. Why isn't Belangiuoli there? But yeah, Salerno has been decent for us. He's made 25 appearances as a start, 10 off the bench. And he has improved dramatically as a result, you know. FM19, there's definitely a downgrade in how quick, particularly young players and young regions, improve on this game. But he's done okay. Esposito wins Best Defender of the Year award for the Italian Under-19s, beating Belangiuoli. You remember Esposito from that episode? He is not better than Belangiuoli. I refuse to believe it. And how he's made so many appearances for Inter Milan of all teams, I have no idea. Either this guy's got tremendous potential I'm completely unaware of, or that is absolutely crazy. Belangiuoli, we'll have a look at him. Might as well. He's rounded out fantastically. You know, physically he's really improved. Mentally he has as well. Still a lot of work to do at his technicals. I'm not like that confused. I do understand that he's got a lot of work to do, but particularly for our wing back roles, we really need physical players. We need them to be able to run up and down that pitch all day, and with the way his physicals are developing, he will definitely be able to do just that. Domenico Mangano, the other youngster that came into our squad at the start of the season, who we'll take a look at as well, won the best midfielder of the award for the Italian Under-17s. Domenico Mangano, he made 13 starts with 17 substitute appearances in Serie A. Now, he's been the one I've been most disappointed by in terms of the training performance and the development and the increase in attributes. It hasn't really happened for this guy. Now, he was only 16 when he started the squad, 17 now, 2.5 star, 5-star player. And now this is typically a sort of player who I would say, right, he's not ready, even if, regardless of the quality of our side, he's not quite ready, and I would get him loaned out to Serie B, or even Serie C might be more his level. But obviously, because it's a Director of Football Challenge, I sort of don't have that sort of control to be able to bring in someone else to be able to play in his position until he's ready. So it'll be a bit up in the air over the course of the summer whether he is still in the first team squad at the beginning of it. But the other two, the centre half and the right back, will definitely be in the first team squad. And in terms of our transfer budget for next season, the board has set that it is at £20.5 million and £425,000 in the wages. Now, what that equals in terms of spare wages is £96,000. Obviously, that'll be bolstered once some people move on at the end of their contract. So it's probably looking at tomorrow, maybe 120, something like that. So a really healthy transfer and wage budget. But we've had that for the past couple of seasons and we haven't developed on it. So we'll see how this season goes. I am interested to see the difference between our old Director of Football and the new one, being Italian and having that trait as he likes to sign young players for the first team. I'm really hoping that that's not just a lie. I'm really hoping that he can do that for us. So in terms of the squad and how it sort of played this season, I was actually disappointed with how we have performed this season. I thought this has probably been the best squad out of the 3 seasons that we've had in terms of player quality. Now, obviously, we sacrificed that a little bit with the 3 youngsters that were brought in who were very raw and undeveloped. But the quality of the loan signings compared to the previous seasons was definitely huge different. Marcelo Trotta was far better than Mancini from last year, or Moncini, whatever his name was, or Lamantia. Even Samuel Longo, who didn't play very many games for us because we had Shea Bacassa, he was better than the signings that were made last season. The central midfielder signings were better than the ones we had last season or the season before. The only real key area where we aren't better than we were in our first season was right back with Lorenzo Dickman. He was so key to us, you know, and if we're going to progress as a team, we're going to have to take advantage of the loans, because that looks like to me what our Director of Football will be going for. So we need to really make good use of the loan system, and pretty much the development of this squad and the progression of this series depends on what the Director of Football can do for us. Now, if he does the same as he did in the past couple of seasons and we don't really improve that much in our first 11, you're probably looking at a similar result next season. 14th to 17th, or maybe even as high as 12th or something like that. 40 points to 50 points, something in that range. It's going to be really difficult to make that progression stick. So what I am going to do, as you've probably noticed, I am flying through these seasons. I mean, I think this season's had 7 episodes in it. It's really short, really, compared to if you look at other creators. They stretch their seasons out a lot more than I do. But once we start progressing and I'm actually seeing the progression of our players, I will create more episodes in that season because I want to highlight that more. But as we're at this sticking point right now of where we're not, not a traditional progression as you would expect from a football manager save, I will just be flying through the seasons. It might even be a case I might even end up reducing it to 5 episodes a season if we're not progressing. So you've got summer transfer window, 2 episodes, January transfer window, 2 episodes, 6 episodes with the end of season review sort of. But in terms of the playing staff anyway, that's enough about the meta series of the save. In terms of goals scored, we did really well this season for our position, finishing in 9th in the league with 51 goals scored. But we were the worst in terms of conceded, which is expected. My tactic is a very attacking tactic, particularly with the attack and wing backs, especially when I'm playing the 4-3-1-2. It does leave big gaps in the defence, but the reason I do that is because at times we do really struggle to score. So I'm pleased to see the goals scoring, but a lot of work to do, obviously, on the goals conceded. We're not a particularly dirty team, I don't think. 17th highest in terms of yellow cards and 6th highest in terms of red cards. That could take one of them red cards away and suddenly we're probably in the bottom 4 or whatever, so it's not a big deal. 15th highest attendance in Serie A, which is fantastic. In terms of top goal scorer, Marcelo Trotta. Belangiuoli actually ended up with the highest average rating of a 6.99. 6.99. The highest average rating for our squad is really disappointing, but I'm pleased that it is Belangiuoli who has won that. In terms of most assists, Andrea Gasparo playing on that left back role gets his assist. Best pass completion, Domenico Mongo. Most player of the match, Belangiuoli. Lorenzo Lollo is the dirtiest player on our side, but he is leaving the club. And in terms of the squad next season, so we're going to be seeing 6 players return to their parent clubs after being on loan at us. Lorenzo Lollo, Marcelo Trotta, Garitano, Samuel Longo Barberis and Escudero, who I'm still incredibly disappointed we haven't been able to play at all. I think he might have been a little bit of a difference maker in some of them games. Now, I'm not even going to talk about what I want for the next season in terms of player acquisition. I want a full first 11. I want a full rework. If I was in charge of this team, it would get ripped up and started again. But it's not going to happen, so we'll have to play with whatever we play with. If our director of football brings me in 2 wingers, I'll start playing wingers. If he brings me in a boatload of central defenders, I'll look to play a 3 at the back system. It all depends on what we get. So looking forward to next season. It is pretty much the same as it is every season. We just look to survive. Pinky in the brain style. And that's how the Serie A table finishes up. Juventus winning the league, unbeaten, the unbeatables. We were so close. We're 4 minutes away from actually beating Juventus, but they have went unbeaten, finishing on 98 points over the course of the season, which is unbelievable. Sassuolo did get relegated alongside Brescia and Frosinone. And in terms of those promoted, we haven't finished the playoff stages. So we'll just quickly check the league table to see who was the 2 automatics. Was Genoa and Pescara. Be nice to see Pescara back in there. And I'm going to guess, because I'll not know until the next episode, Empoli get promoted. Anyway, end of another season. That is the end of season 4. If you're looking forward to season 5, please consider leaving a like on the channel. And if you enjoy my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.